There's something so funny about this because like whenever they ask me about this stuff, and they do quite frequently, a bunch of the interviews that I did before the DNC, people have asked me about it. I always say the same thing. I don't think it's that gonna push the needle. Okay, I don't care about like politicians collaborating with influencers. I care about their policies, and I think Americans care about their policies. Let's get to the social media influencers take on the DNC.
For the first time ever, the DNC has given credentials, usually reserved for traditional press, to social media personalities.
Well, I'm a content creator. I make videos on TikTok in Spanish for the Latino immigrant community here in the United States. I do my content in Spanish, but I talk about politics, social issues, and all that.
Carlos Eduardo Espina has more than 10 million followers on TikTok.
Damn.
In another DNC first, he's taking center stage as a speaker.
I think nowadays, left and right are getting their information on social media, so it's important.
Bro, how come he's on the floor? I'm not on the floor. You know what I'm saying? I never got my ass on the floor. They haven't given me floor access yet. You know what I'm saying? There's other people who are popping. Maybe I should have. The Hotties for Harris party was popping. Yeah, dude, I was taking my hot ass over to my hotel room to fall asleep. It's because you're not lived up enough. No, I mean, we had one floor pass. We just need two because you're not wearing a suit. No, that doesn't matter. We need that floor access, baby. We need that shit. You're not Latino, DEI brother. DEI brother. Yeah, okay. Calm down, bro. This dude is popping. But you know what else is popping? The way I serve 3-minute ad breaks at the top of the hour. Okay, I bet you he wouldn't be able to do that. He would not be able to do that. For $6 or for free, though, you won't see the top of the hour ad break. It won't be a problem for you, okay? It won't be an issue for you. All you need to do is subscribe, baby, okay? For $6 or free, or you could get gifted a sub. You know what I'm saying? Here's the 3-minute ad break now. Hold on, I'm getting noties up the ass. Oh, shit, hold on. Okay, K-Sheep, thank you for the 5 gifted. Here's the 3-minute ad break now. All right, I served it, okay. What is this? These journalists versus creators squabbles I keep hearing around the DNC need to end. Both groups need to unite in around the true atrocity of this convention, which is that the United Center are only serving Pepsi products. Oh my God. He spoke to my soul with this one. He spoke to my soul with this one. Speaking truth to power. Get AOC to do this. Cat time? Okay, you got it.
Important to have people like us here so we can take that message directly to the audience who might.
You're going to watch the Women Dem Governor panel in an hour? No.
Might not see the convention on television or on traditional news.
Though the convention is its typical star-studded affair, the DNC this year is hoping to connect with voters beyond the reach of traditional media.
Look, I am someone who absolutely loved Joe Biden, but I'm also a woman who is completely psyched for the idea of a Kamala Harris presidency.
This is influencer Lee McGowan.
So I started this project as a way to re-engage people with American politics because I think American politics is so exciting and so wonderful, and I know that we can make such a big difference.
Democrats are stepping up efforts to counter Donald Trump's social media machine and viral videos in what polls show could be an extremely close race between the two candidates.
Breaking gay news, we are here at the Democratic National Convention.
Josh Healthgott, an LGBTQ+ advocate, says he's grateful that Harris.
Bro, is this how I look like to the outside world when I'm doing my news commentary? Is this what it looks like, bro? I'm so cooked.
Harris's team sees the value of creators.
It's about time. Creators are like a huge messenger in the news economy today. We share stories with the public just like news anchors do, and in many ways, indisputably, we reach more people.
For the first time ever, more than 200 content creators have been given credentials, like press credentials, to attend and cover the Democratic National Convention.
I'm gonna be honest, I do breaking gay news every day when I flex my pits on the timeline. I don't have to say breaking gay news. I live it. You know what I mean? I'm breaking the gays every time I do that.
The move comes as Democrats continue to try and reach out to young voters. And while polling shows many 18 to 29-year-old voters are leaning in favor of the Democratic nominee, some are worried the enthusiasm behind.
What happened? Did it actually F? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? There is no F. No F. It's fine. It's a Twitch F. Bro, what is happening? EU. Oh, this is what I was doing, bro. This is what I saw this. Dude, it's so funny how everyone is like locked in. They're listening to Obama. They're listening to Obama. I'm looking the exact opposite direction. Locked up, doing the damn thing. Okay, doing the damn thing. Just turned around. Everyone thinks you're insane. No, I think like if there's one group of people who know what the fuck I'm doing there, it's literally the influencers. So they're aware of what the fuck I'm doing. I don't think the journalists fully understand what I'm doing unless they're my friends and they're like not oblivious to what I do. I don't have a solo room this time, but I'm in a different spot. I'm in a different spot this time, but but like it's a balcony. I'm in a wide open space directly in the middle of the convention hall, in the convention center. And I am, what is this? What the fuck is this? Why are you sending me random TikToks? An influencer caught you being demure at the creator lounge?
Cute welcome sign. This is our lil box. Twitch streamer being very demure. We have a nice little mural. All the snacks. Seats next to the trad media boxes. This is very cool. View of the stage. Michelle Obama will be right there. Got my snack. I'll be working until prime time. Let's tour the creator penthouse at the DNC.
As me, I'm
Cute
demure.
welcome sign. This is our lil box. Twitch streamer being very.
As me, I'm being demure. Very mindful, very demure. I'd imagine the influencers find it funny they didn't give you a room. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't care. I think it worked in my favor. Like, we're making the most of it. Obviously, we know how to roll with the punches. Give March his flowers. I thought you streaming IRL would look weird and awkward, but he does a really good job. Yeah, if it wasn't for March's camera work, it would be looking weird and awkward. Because obviously me holding the camera and also trying to handle everything else is like virtually impossible. The thing is like, the problem is like that shit breaks down anyway. And I also have to, when it breaks down in real time, fix it myself. So that breaks the seamless way in which we can cut content. That also breaks the seamless way in which we can cut content. That also, is weird to all the other people that are not aware of all of the other factors that go into it. Sometimes when I'm literally streaming and I have to stop when I'm doing an IRL stream, I have to stop and talk to March and be like, yo, can you move around so I can see like what the bit rate looks like? People around me are like, what the fuck is happening? Like, I don't know what that means. You know what I mean? They don't know what that is. They don't know what the fuck's going on. Oh, my hair is so bad today. I just really let it rip every time. I need to fix this shit. Is there a way to record and stream in case the stream breaks? I don't know the tech. No. Anyway, you say that you can see what's going on in chat, but I really don't think you understand. What do you mean? Please, one round of Valo from the DNC. Yeah, no, I'm not going to do that. Do you feel sick? You might have COVID. I don't feel sick. Why the f are you saying that? What the f? Bro, chatters, you really got to stop with this weird parasocial shit. I swear to God, dude. I already blasted someone the other day when they were like, stop snorting. Stop snorting. I hate when you snort into the mic. It's like, shut the f up. Okay. Let's get back to the influencer conversation. The influencer drama. Shit is heated. I didn't even know it was happening.
Kamala Harris may not actually guarantee a turnout on Election Day. So Kalen Allen is joining us. He is one of those content creators at the DNC, and he's previously participated in social media strategy sessions with the Biden administration. You know, Kalen, it's always good to see you. I gotta admit, I'm a little jelly. I mean, you're living your best life. Last time we spoke to you about Beyonce. Now you're at the DNC, and it looked like one heck of a party last night. So creators are there, and they have those official badges, just like journalists. They have access that many sort of legacy media members are going to have, including VIP interviews and studio space. How are you seeing this play out? What are you seeing other content creators and influencers doing? And what do you make of this strategy?
You know, personally, I think that the strategy is absolutely brilliant. I have had a front row seat to watching these creators actually activate.
There's something so funny about this because, like, whenever they ask me about this stuff, and they do quite frequently, a bunch of the interviews that I did before the DNC, people have asked me about it since, like, the Aiden Ross Twitch streaming thing. I always say the same thing, okay? I always say the same thing. I don't think it's that gonna push the needle, okay? I don't care about, like, politicians collaborating with influencers. I care about their policies, and I think Americans care about their policies, and that they should communicate their policies better. Now, if they do that while they're communicating with an influencer, that's great. But, like, overall, people should vote for something, not against the other party. It's not team sports. It's about improving people's lives, improving people's material conditions. So, you know, that's what I stick to every time. Obviously, it's a little self-serving for me to turn around and be like, yeah, it's great. They should always do influencer beats. Like, they should really talk to these influencer beats. It's like, they should really talk to these influencers. Like, yeah, no, we have big audiences. We obviously have very passionate fan bases. We can maybe change their minds as well. But, like, I can't speak for other content creators, but I can speak for myself. I'm not going to, like, push people in one direction if I don't personally believe in it. Okay? That's it.
And mobilize in ways that I've never seen us been able to have access before. I mean, they are absolutely working. And I think what is great about this is that we are meeting young voters where they are. But I think it even also expands.
That's also part of the reason why. I don't like wearing, like, a Harris Waltz hat. You know what I mean? Like, or a Brad sticker. You know what I mean?
It's far past young voters, but also the parents of these voters. And I think that is absolutely amazing.
And you know, clearly it's not just the use of, you know, I was thinking about the use of influencers and content creators like you. And one of the things that you have is this incredible reach, and you don't cost very much. You know what I mean? You make the content that would probably cost millions of dollars.
Bro, you wear Trump hats all the time. Just say it's ironic. It's different. The reason why it's different is because I'm here. I'm at the DNC, and I'm literally like here as a welcomed guest of the DNC. So if I'm like in that looks like an endorsement. Obviously, when I wear the Trump hat, that's not an endorsement. You know what I mean? Like, even if I was at the RNC as a welcome guest at the RNC, that's not and I wore a Trump hat, that would still not be considered an endorsement. Okay? There is obviously a difference between, like, me wearing a Trump hat, which is obviously ironic. Everybody knows I'm playing a character, versus, like, me wearing a Harris Waltz hat, in my opinion.
For the...
Are you endorsing Kamala by proxy? Yeah, I'm endorsing Kamala by proxy in the same way that Jake Tapper is endorsing Kamala Harris by proxy by being here. Okay? Or Mehdi Hasan is endorsing Kamala Harris by proxy by being here. Or Ryan Grimm is endorsing Kamala Harris by proxy by being here. People ask me all the time, do you endorse Kamala Harris on the Harris Waltz ticket? And I always tell them the same thing. Wait and see. I'm waiting and I'm seeing. There's a lot more that I need to see in terms of, like, what they're communicating to the public and what they are genuinely interested in doing. Okay, I don't want Donald Trump to win. That is obvious. I mean, I don't have a issue stating that reality. I think Donald Trump is a menace and awful. I think most Republicans in general are menaces and awful. Yeah, it's like Charlie Kirk is endorsing Kamala Harris by being here.
Party to make. I'm wondering, though, if the content has content. If you get what my drift is the content, you know, here's what they're eating at the DNC. Oh my God, I just saw Lil Jon. Or are content creators talking about the issues that are important to younger voters?
I think this is so funny because it's like my entire existence here, and I think that's what, like, the DNC might have been thinking of, is like is a direct counter to this narrative. You know what I mean? Like, it's a direct counter to this narrative that this question is presenting. It is a slanted question with a narrative hidden in it, okay? There's an underlying premise here.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, because one thing that I want to make sure that I emphasize is that there are a wide range of content creators, and everyone was brought here for a purpose. And what I've seen is that the content creators that were selected are people that actually have platforms that they have actually structured around, like policy and different political activations and conversations. So I think there's a lot of intention and purpose behind there. And of course, you have some people that are here just for the experience, but for the majority, these are people that actually talk about these topics on a day-to-day basis.
And what is your take on how the Harris campaign has been doing? You know, for a while there was kind of a suggestion that, you know, Harris was kind of, that this was a sugar high and Harris isn't really talking about policy at all. Are you seeing the campaign bring up issues that are important to young people? And what are some of those issues?
Oh, absolutely. I think when it comes to the actual policy, what is great about especially how they have incorporated content creators is that we have all been provided with a lot of messaging. We have been provided with a lot of the facts and details that comes with the campaign, so that we can be the catalyst for that information. You know what I mean? And I know last time that I was there, we discussed about how the campaign was trying to figure it out because it was so last minute that they were thrown into it. And I think what they've been doing is really doing trial and error and figuring out what.
You can see me behind Chris Wallace on the CNN broadcast. Yo, we gotta look at that. We gotta look at that. Holy shit! Shut the f up. Wait, I'm gonna go to my pirated CNN live stream. Shut the f up. Y'all are joking, right?
Consistent with what many administrations in the past have done. Before we go, you know, though the numbers have not been.
My man's in Tel Aviv, bro.
There are protests in support of Palestine against the progress of the war here in the Middle East, in Gaza. Some have noted changes between Harris and Biden in terms of how they talk about this conflict, with a particular attention to civilian casualties. Does Harris intend to shift U.S. policy as relates to the Middle East and the war in Gaza? What Vice President Harris and President Biden, their entire administration has been focused on making sure that we have a negotiated ceasefire deal that includes a release of the hostages, that includes robust humanitarian aid for civilians Palestinian civilians, and making sure that we are putting the Middle East region on a path to long-term peace. That is not a change. And so hopefully there is a deal on the table that we are very close to, except former President Trump is doing everything he can to undermine that deal.
You can't see me, and also it's not in real time anyway.
He prefers to put his own selfish interests above those of the people.
It's cool to see them actually talking about this in these terms, though.
Especially with the music behind you there in the auditorium as they prepare for tonight's performance.
The narrative is shifting, Chad. The narrative is shifting. You see that? They're hitting a partisan angle on Benjamin Netanyahu. They're talking about Benjamin Netanyahu's selfishness. Like that's interesting
Harris's
to see.
Husband, the second gentleman, Doug Emhoff, also took the spotlight to share his
$20 billion aid to Israel last week so they can forge a path for peace. I know, it's such a L, dude. It's such a goddamn L. It's such a goddamn stupid decision from this administration. Just like putting Blinken out there to do like defense attorney shit for Benjamin Netanyahu was so goddamn stupid. Okay? Okay? BB is clearly going to try to interfere in this election and try to swing it for Trump. He already is doing that. I mean, the Trump call definitely forced their hand after that. There's no way you can straight face say the unconditional aid should continue. I think they're just like, I think that the Democrats on foreign policy are scared and they're stupid. And the NatSec Andes will fight you if you mention it, saying that the $20 billion is not funding but sales, like it isn't the same shit. Yeah, it's $20 billion worth of weapons that they're purchasing with our money that we gave them ahead of time. Like, what are we talking about? They're not going in there. They're not going in there and like, opening up the purses. You know what I mean? Dude. Carrot and the stick is not working. Let me finish this influencer bit and then we'll get to Israel, okay?
What works, but I think what is great, especially with their social media presence, is that they are able to actively be on the topic as it happens and that you don't have to wait to get the information later on.
So tomorrow you're actually going to be participating in a live roundtable discussion. It's called the youth vote. Are we losing the next generation? And it's for the Congressional Black Caucus and a Rolling Sea Action Fund. Can you tell us a little bit about this panel and what you hope to be discussing?
Yes, absolutely. So there will be multiple panels, and I will be sitting on that one that you just mentioned. But what we will really be discussing, and I think my angle is that my thing is that I am all about teaching young voters to not rely on media to help them decide what they should do, and giving the resources of being able to do their own research and not letting media dictate how they should move. Because I do think that social media oftentimes can create a hive mentality, and I don't think that that is conducive to this election because we don't have a lot of time. So it's important to be able to do your own research and make your own informed decision.
Yeah, that's really smart, Kaylin. Kaylin Allen, thank you very much. Have fun.
Okay. Did you sign an NDA not to mention any citing of Taylor Swift, the true kingmaker of this election? Dude, you're crazy if you think that Taylor Swift is out here, you know, putting her political and social capital on the line to, like, no, she's going to do the classic, like, 1 month out from the election. You guys should go out and vote and protect abortion. And then that's it. Okay. The burp just gave you +3 viewers. Hell yeah. Okay. So where the f were we? Oh damn. There isn't any Israel Palestine stuff in here. Okay. Free Bill Clinton. Lamau. This is a good take from Jeremy Slevin, senior advisor to Senator Sanders. I should probably DM him too to be like, yo, let me get Bernard up in here. I'm going to DM him right now, actually. Can I snag an interview with Bernie before DNC ends? Send me your phone and email, get you connected. Okay. That's for Ilhan Omar, the email and phone number, not for Bernie. Anyway. We need a Hosburb compilation. You don't need a Hosburb compilation. Sometimes you don't need things, okay? You don't need everything. Can you catch the NPR mention? Someone was following you? Wait, really?
Mainstream journalists are not the only ones with press
What
credentials
point?
at the Democratic convention. For the first time, social media influencers have convention press passes too. Prominent influencers include Hasan Piker, who has over 2.7 million followers on Twitch.
What the hell, bro? That's crazy.
Wired Magazine's McKenna Kelly has been covering political influencers since 2018, and she is at the Democratic Convention in Chicago. I assume you have a press pass, right?
I do, yep. It's kind of similar accreditation to what many of those influencers have.
Okay. Is there any clear line between an influencer and a traditional journalist?
I think that line is getting blurrier the more
I'm muting myself. I'm doing push to talk over here. The noise gate is not working because the band is literally next to me. Okay, like not the flex, but I'm straight up on top of the band. Like I cannot be physically closer.
time passes, especially during this election. I think the main difference between a news influencer and a journalist like myself and you is that we do reporting, right? We are part of the process of digging up new information, whereas a lot of what news influencers do is taking headlines, screen grabs of them, and sitting in front of them green screen style and reading off the news to their followers.
That's a fair point. And in some cases, what they're saying is, here is something the media will not tell.
Okay. Chill. She made it seem like I'm just like I'm one of these TikTokers that does the green screen style. Like, look at this headline. That's crazy. Okay. I thought we were friends. I don't know what's happening here. Okay. I feel a little bit, I don't think that's what I do. I mean, I go through articles. I'm not a headline Andy. You know what I mean? I am not a journalist, though. I mean, that's something that I do actually mention quite frequently. And I do I do give props to mainstream media in general as well. You know, bro said react harder. NPR said react harder.
Tell you, and then they cite the article, or they read from the article that the media told them. With that said, though, they have huge audiences and can speak credibly to people, especially younger people, in a way that maybe a lot of journalists can't. Isn't that right?
Yes, and I think that's exactly what the Democrats are hoping to do by bringing around, I think it's 200 influencers who are here and credentialed for this convention. And again, the RNC also had creators at their convention as well, but that was only about 70 of them. So this is definitely an important voting bloc to both parties, and they see these influencers as a significant part in their strategy to reach them.
Have you been sampling some of their content?
Yes, I have. Yesterday, I followed a couple of folks around. There is a news creator named Philip DeFranco who has millions of followers. He's like an OG YouTuber. And I went up into the broadcast suite that they have opened up for creators that they can book time, similar to what CNN and Fox News have. And I followed Representative Ro Khanna from California up there.
Bro, that's crazy. That's crazy. Even she's glazing Philly D, man. Just like my brother. God damn it. I'm getting cucked by Philly again.
And they just had this interview set up where Philly was able to record, this thing for his own show that will probably go up later this week. Hasan Piker, of course, that you just brought up, I followed him around too, and he brought his cameras upstairs in this broadcast studio and just sat with lawmakers for, maybe 15, 20 minutes and had those kinds of conversations which you clipped at the beginning.
Are they being co-opted by the Democrats, or are these independent people who are bringing their own questions and their own opinions?
Yeah, I mean, co-opted, I'm not sure if that's really the right word for it, but these people many of them have been at this for a very long time. Philip DeFranco, like I just mentioned, he has been doing this since like the beginning of YouTube.
I'm compromised with the Democratic Party. I'm a Democratic Party op.
In the 2000s, the early 2000s. And Hasan, he's been doing this for several years as well. But I think the main difference here is that a lot of these influencers just aren't as critical of the administration, of the campaigns, as traditional journalists would be. For example, yesterday I met...
Ain't no way that I was mentioned, and then the follow-up was a lot of these influencers aren't as critical as mainstream. No shot. Like, okay, so that's a... Okay, listen. That, I know she knows what my perspective is. I know because I did an interview with her. She's a Wired reporter. She's also with the NPR, right? She knows I'm hypercritical. I literally just said I'm not a vote blue no matter who type person in the beginning of this article. I think she's talking about like Harry Sasan and whatnot. Okay, I think that's what it is. But like obviously out of most of the creators here, like I probably am more critical of the Democratic Party than mainstream media is in general. But I think I just got kind of caught up in that same framework here.
A food reviewer who was supposed to be here at the DNC, and I saw him around the floor, and I asked him, okay, what question are you asking these people? And he said, well, I'm asking lawmakers what they think Kamala Harris and Trump would be if they were food dishes.
Well, I guess it would get interesting responses. With that said, I want to acknowledge...
Bro, I literally talked to Ro Khanna about Israel, okay? I talked to Ro Khanna about Israel and also called what Israel's doing a genocide. Like, there's no... I don't think they're talking about me, okay? I'm not talking about, like, what dishes. She shot a photo of you yesterday? Okay, stop. Thank God you went to that protest Monday and not the influencer. Dude, are you crazy? Come on. That's not gonna happen. That would have not happened anyway. You said what college you went to for pizza? No, because he said he went to college here and then followed it up with, where did you go? So I literally thought he was asking me what college I went to. Okay, calm down. All right, let's finish this.
It says right in the Constitution, you need no qualifications whatsoever, basically, to be a member of the press. So in that sense, I mean, I welcome to them. I mean, it's one more set of voices, and we'll see what they do.
Right, and I think similar to how the bloggers were brought in during the Bush administration, I like to be optimistic about these things. And when I look at what these news creators are doing, I think that us as journalists can probably take a lot of lessons from them, especially when it comes to community building.
McKenna Kelly of Wired, thanks so much.
Of course, yeah.
Okay, good news. We're urging Netanyahu again. We're going to urge him again. We're going to urge him some more. Okay. You're being way too nice. They did lump you in with food TikTokers. If they wanted to highlight you as a serious dissenter, they would have, but it's easier just to pat you on the head as an influencer. I mean, I don't really care. I'm just excited about the mention. You know what I mean? I don't care, honestly. Like, who cares, bro? Okay, they're saying I'm a food TikToker. Who cares? If at the end of the day you're gonna have some like Midwestern moms tuning in because they heard this coverage and they were like, let me check this guy out, and then they're gonna see me do lifestyle influencer content because that's what I do. Okay, that's what I do. I do lifestyle content, and then they're gonna be shocked when they find out that that's not what I do. But it's fine. Your goat's hanging out. Oh my God! Wait, this is definitely edited, right? Yeah, they're gonna be like, this guy's always eating on stream when I tune in exactly at 3 p.m. So he must be like a food eater. He must be an eater. He's a mukbang. He's one of those mukbang streamers. You know what I mean? Anyway, folks. Yeah, I saw Ilhan Omar was speaking outside. We'll talk about that as well. Rokana posted, great talking about Hassan Nahan at the DNC about a progressive vision for our country. What is this? Bro, what the fuck? He looks the same. Weren't Kamala Merchant attending the DNC to own the libs? Yeah, he's just doing like a am I racist shit. Not looking good for negotiations. Sources say deal unlikely. Hamas looking to Hezbollah to increase pressure on Israel. Yeah, no shit, dude. U.S. criticizes Israeli Prime Minister's maximalist ceasefire stance. Oh no, that's crazy. Life imitate itself. Okay. My mom's been tuning every single day since the Trump rally. You got the Midwest mom vote. Let's go, dude. That's the one thing I actually ended up. That's the one thing I noticed is that I personally like like back in the day when we used to go to protests, we just see like, you know, people my age. Now people my age are bringing their dads and their moms. Like they're bringing their parents to the protests. Like there was a bunch of people I talked to that were like, yeah, I put my mom and dad on your broadcast. Like they watch it all the time. You know what I mean? Like this is fun for the whole family. So yeah, those two moms in the hallway loved you. I know, that was very cute. They were very cute. My mom watches your stream on mute and alone in her room. Not sure why she's so secretive about it. Okay, chill. Okay. So I feel like social media influencers taking a prominent stage at the DNC is like a much larger deal by the media that also kind of feel like they're being forced out of the conversation a little bit. It doesn't bode well for my kind of coverage. Even though, you know, I have a somewhat of an antagonistic relationship with outlets in general, I am hypercritical of them, but I also do give them big props every time I talk to them, whether it be talking to CNN yesterday when I was having a convo with Dhoni about the importance of mainstream outlets, doing great journalism, how I have a lot of friends that are investigative reporters in these mainstream outlets, doing great journalism. You know what I mean? Like this is a symbiotic relationship. It wouldn't work without the other side. So I do hope that they don't consider me to be someone who is just like participating in the new wave that is like basically out competing mainstream media. I don't think we are. That's why they don't like TikTok and Twitch. Yeah, I mean, I like I said, I am. Dhoni is my cousin. Wait, really? Yeah, Ed Markey tweeted this as well. This was beautiful. His team is aware of who I am, obviously. When I hosted my first Twitch stream, Hasan the Hun surprised me by tuning in. Today, I got to surprise him at the DNC. Thanks for having me. Let's do it again. Then there is the New York Times. 89% of swing states voters want to increase the minimum wage. 84% want to expand Medicare to vision, dental, and hearing. 84 want the wealthy to start paying their fair share in taxes. This is how the New York Times covered Bernie Sanders' speech on those policies. Just blatantly inaccurate. Okay? In short, Sanders did on Tuesday night what his fellow progressive AOC chose not to do in her convention speech on Monday night. Make policy proposals to put Harris in a big government vise, binding or pushing her in a direction that a lot of moderates do not want to go. Harris needs some of those swing state moderates if she's going to win the presidency. Dude, these guys have one speed. The New York Times cannot stop itself from manufacturing consent for this supposed moderate that is absolutely not going to vote for the Democratic Party because the Democratic Party is too radical, you know? Too radical. Harris needs some of those swing state moderates if she's going to win the presidency, but the electoral math didn't seem to be on Sanders' mind. Rather, the moment was a reminder about Bernie. If you give him a speaking slot, he'll play it to the hilt and take it to the limit. That is crazy. I don't like this. I don't like this at all. This is why I say there is obviously so much there's so much bias presented in this kind of like neutral tone within regular mainstream reporting. Like I consider this to be a disservice to the public. This is the type of stuff that I'm talking about when I say this is like somewhat of a disservice to the public to like make it seem like there's this broad consensus among moderates that this is like the one thing that they represent, like a major constituency that cannot be reasoned with. You know what I mean? Even Newt Gingrich thinks his old antagonist is the Democrats' best hope to connect with working class voters. Chicago, it's time to take the big dog off the porch and let him run. Bill Clinton should return to the campaign trail this fall. Bro, he's like 8,500 years old, okay? I don't know what he looks like lately, but he hasn't been looking too great last couple of times I've seen him on camera. So I don't know what they're trying to say here, but anyway, he's younger than Trump and Biden. Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Waltz is doing great and the attacks don't seem to be sticking, but how did this not come up in vetting? Tim Walsh drinks Diet Mountain Dew. 11% preference effect. Why? Yo, Diet Mountain Dew is the shit. Yo, people are crazy. Speaking of the New York Times, they're going crazy with the fact checks. Here it is again. This one is absolutely inexcusable. The New York Times would generally be doing the worst job this week and are not only because the Washington Post is doing an even worse job. Take it from an actual billionaire. Trump is rich in only one thing, stupidity. This lacks evidence. They're joking, right? I think like, look, I don't care about the palace intrigue aspect of this as much, but I do feel as though maybe some of the journalists are like resentful with how much the DNC has offered some space that normally would be allocated to them to like influencers. And I feel like they're being awfully contentious in a way where it's not like serious adversarial journalism, but just simply being contentious for the sake of being a contrarian. Okay. While Mr. Trump's exact net worth is unknown, Forbes and Bloomberg estimate that he is currently a billionaire. A judge ruled in February in a civil fraud case brought by New York Attorney General that Mr. Trump had inflated his net worth, and Mr. Trump has long exaggerated his wealth by falsely claiming to be a self-made billionaire. Here's another fact check. Donald Trump and J.D. Vance want to dismantle our healthcare system. Oh, we saw that already. This is exaggerated. This is exaggerated. I worry that they're being a little petty. These journals are actually jelly because the only time they read their articles is by watching you read them. Yeah. There was an NPR piece this morning that featured you. Yeah, I know. They said I was not contentious to the Democratic Party or co-opted by the Dems. And I asked silly questions like, what food would you be when given the opportunity to talk to a sitting congressperson?